Hey guys, this is Vaul, and it's time to take you back to StarCraft 2, the beta. And I've played a number of games in the beta now, maybe about 50 or 60 games. Most of them as Terran. In fact, all of my multiplayer games as Terran. I tried out the other races just in, against the computer. Now I'm going to show you a TvT. I have spawned as the red Terran at the bottom left corner of the map, and the blue Terran at the bottom, the top right of the corner of the map is my opponent. Not really sure how to pronounce his name, Renih, R-I-N-A-H or something. And I've been playing a lot of games lately. I've had some interesting ones. I have sort of got a bit further up in the leagues. I am losing games on a regular basis now, which is good because I'm actually facing better opponents. And there are a number of different divisions. There's like the Copper Division, the Copper League, Silver League, Platinum, Gold League, Platinum League. I'm not really sure if there are other ones as well, and there are divisions within each league. Just this evening I made it to the Gold League, and this particular game was played right before I made it into the Gold League. So if you guys are playing the beta, you'll know what that is. If you don't, then you'll have to find out a bit more about it when the actual game comes out. Taking a look at build orders, nothing really special going on. Supply depot, then barracks. My opponent has decided not to wall in. I've decided to wall in just because it's a good practice against every race. I haven't really encountered any early cheese, but as you can see here, my opponent is building 2 barracks before going for his refinery, so this is obviously a bit more of an aggressive strategy that I haven't really encountered before in my time as Terran versus Terran. So except the one guy that decided to build like barracks in the middle of the map and then just attack me and build bunkers and things, but I managed to stop that with a bit of SCV micro pretty easily. And back at my base, going to be getting some refineries very shortly. Recently I've been adopting a more of a defensive style. I've been sort of getting comfortable with the build orders and so forth and figuring out how to play the game. And my style in StarCraft 1 was generally a fairly defensive style. I like really taking more resources quickly and really just pushing out to a macro game and then doing a big timing attack to beat my opponent, maybe with a little bit of harassment here and there while I'm actually taking up and doing my expansions. Now that's just the way I feel comfortable playing most of the time. So far in the beta I've been trying out various little harassment things and trying out different units, but now I'm sort of getting stuck into a typical regime of going for a quick comsat station to allow me to build those mules, which allow you to harvest minerals a bit quicker, and then going for a fast expansion as soon as I can. My opponent here building a lot of Marines though, and he's going to try and push up my ramp through my little block. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't actually built that many Marines because you generally only need a couple of Marines to hold off any sort of rush, especially if it's like Zerglings or Zealots. It'll be a bit different in this case since his Marines can shoot over my wall. But while I'm sort of only building a couple of Marines, I can then sort of tech up to comsat stations and factories and stuff. And have a look here, you can actually register the APM. Not very much APM is needed to play StarCraft 2, so you see it's much lower. It's pretty much about half of what my StarCraft 1 APM would be. And here we've got a bit of firefight. He's attacking a little bit prematurely. If I were him, I would actually just save up some Marines and then attack, because it's a bit of a trade-off at this sort of situation, and it's easy for me to reinforce my Marines straight away with my barracks right there. And with the factory cropping up, should be able to hold off anything. But here he comes with 2 Marines and killing my guys, but as soon as the guy dies, then a reinforcement appears. So still not having much luck getting through my little wall there with his guys, but he's got reinforcements constantly coming in. And here's the crux of his strategy, I feel. He goes for that expansion while he's putting pressure on me. Now, a bit risky given that the pressure he's putting on my base is not really that high, and I can counteract and attack him as soon as I fend this off. But it's good that he's actually doing something to give him a chance in the late game. So expanding before I do, so his economy is actually going to be better than me, despite the fact that he went 2 barracks. However, my tech is going to be way better than his, and he's going to have no units left if I manage to hold this off and kill everything that charges through. So we'll see how things actually work out. He's actually doing a fair bit of damage now on my my supply depots, so I've brought in an SCB to try and repair, although he kills that pretty quickly. Now, normally I wouldn't build a Helion against Marines and so forth. The reason I've done that, sorry, I just got a little bit of a pause going on here while I accidentally pressed print screen, but the reason I build a Helion is because I'd build a factory quick, and siege tanks take too long to build. I would have had to add a tech support bay and then build siege tanks. So while I wanted as many units as I could earlier on to prevent him from shooting down my wall, I've got the Hellions going out there. And you guys might notice a supply depot behind that grass wall there. The reason why I put that there is because there's a second entrance to your base, which is protected by destructible rocks. So if he was to go around and destroy those rocks and move in, I'd have nothing to defend against as many Marines there, and I'd lose. So that supply depot is built over that way, just to make sure he isn't trying that strategy of just busting through the rocks. If he did, then I'd bring troops around to that side. But got 2 Hellions out now, and now that I feel a bit safer, putting down that tech support bay, a tech lab as it's called, sorry, and a starport, as well as 2 more barracks, because I've got a lot of resources cranking in now. As you can see, I've got this mule. And on the other hand, he's got 3 factories going down, and his command center's really taken off there. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I've got a marauder, as you can see, and before long I'll be wanting to move out and just hit his guys and then rush over to his base, because he's at a weak point at this stage. He's got really weak troops on the field, but he's investing a lot thanks to his expansion and factories and so forth. So now is about a good time to hit him. Not too sure where I moved up. This is a replay after all, just scrolling through the different scores and so forth. Building my command center because I know it's about time to push out, wipe out his Marines and then expand, so that's going to be important. He's got Hellions of his own, and building a Banshee as well, just because I feel like he might not, if he's got all his Marines out in the field, he might not have much anti-air back at base. So since I've got the starport up, assuming us up before his is, should be able to get stuff out before he has rifles to kill Banshees. And here you go, wiping out his Marines pretty easily with the kind of firepower there, especially with the tank and support and the mortar. Making short work of his army. Should have done that a fair while ago, actually, and now it's time for me to move my command center over there and take my natural. His expansion's been going for some time now. He's got factories building Hellions and a Thor. It'll be time to show you guys what the Thor is like in multiplayer. That's quite cool. The Thor is a really interesting unit. It's meant to replace the Goliath, and it does the Goliath's role reasonably well, but it's a much bigger unit. It kind of looks funny. It looks bigger and more powerful than it actually is. I feel like it can be shot down quite easily, and it's more of an anti-air unit. Although it is good at frontal assaults. Although if you got a lot of tanks versus a lot of Thors, the tanks will generally come out better off, just given cost efficiency of the tanks for short-range combat. Well, not short-range combat, but medium-ranged and long-range combat is sort of what I was getting there. But I'm forcing him to lift off, which is good. Moving into his base, and we'll see if I can actually end the game here. Sieging up my tank and getting ready. But here comes the Thor. So just stomping his way over here, and Thor's got plenty of hit points, because you have to pay quite a lot of minerals and gas for it. So it's just moving into close range to the tanks. The tanks can't shoot it. Then using his ability to just blow away my tanks, so that's quite cool. Really well played by him to get that Thor in there.